What's up, brownies? I got tired of being on hold with tech support and I just figured I'd get on here and ask you all if you can help me out. Does anybody know what I have to do to be taken out of the Kangs and preferences group chat? Because it doesn't matter what social media platform I get on, all I see is these stories of these Kangs being gooped out of their coins by these preferences. And honey, I'm just sick of seeing it. The Kangs losing the bag. The preferences are securing it, but look at what they have to go through in order to get it. I mean, Lord, I almost feel sorry for everybody involved.
Sorrows, prayers.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, I really can't give it too much energy, and I definitely can't give it any support, and here's why. See, I'm a firm believer of you should always get support from the people that you support, right? So the preferences community is who you give all of your resources to, correct? Then surely all of those good friends of yours that are on the yachts with you and her family members, surely they are coming out to support you and speak up on your behalf, because what we do know is nobody just secures one type of bag, right? Even if it's sports or in the music field, you all diversify your streams of income. And what we do know is these different little brand deals that you have on the side, most of them are going to come with a morality clause. And so if you're out here womanizing and abusing and you have all of these scandals attached to your name, they're going to yank that contract, which means that you're losing money on the front end. And then once these lawsuits from your preferences come through, lawsuits, divorces, all of that, you're losing money on the front end and the back end.
Sorrows, prayers.
I understand history, and I understand that it's not just on the front end, on the back end. It's really historically how long this has been going on. Now, let me break it down to you. See, first you were used as free labor. And then around June 1865, y'all thought that a change had really finally come. Now, little did you know, less than 6 months later, there was going to be an amendment made, right? And basically all that amendment did with a lot of clever language is to re-enslave you. See, whereas it used to be, I'm going to stop and frisk and you have to show me your freedom papers. Now when I stop and frisk, I want you to show me your proof of employment, because otherwise a man just walking around, lounging around, hanging out outside, that's loitering. And loitering, my goodness, it carried a hefty sentence, right? Well, they already knew that when they stopped you, you wasn't going to have any proof of employment. Why? Because they had locked you out of the labor force. They had used you for free labor for so long, they weren't getting ready to pay you now. Guess who they brought in? Guess what race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever they brought in? Not just during Reconstruction, but times after that. Guess who they would bring in to replace you in the labor force? Oh, it looked like the women in the pictures. Oh my goodness, it looked like your preferences. Yeah, the preferences community. So it's amazing to me that your preferences as wealthy black men tend to either be the descendants of the using you as free labor and locking you out of wealth building community, or the replacing you in the labor force and thereby continuing to lock you out of wealth community. Yeah. So you are giving money back to the descendants of the people who stopped you from getting the bag in the first place. My God, today. You know, I heard the prophetess Lauryn Hill say, "Tell me who I have to be to get some reciprocity." And I guess I would have to be a preference, which means that it no longer makes sense for me or anybody like me to be doing these GoFundMes and social media, social justice campaigns, all of this marching and protesting in the streets, tearing your church shoes up and catching rubber bullets to the face, being disfigured, because the men that you are marching and protesting to do not give their resources to you. Their support only flows one way. And what's so crazy is the way support flows from black women to black men without that reciprocity looks a whole lot like the way the resources flow. And that's the real support is resources. Flows from black men to the preferences community. And then your preferences, who wouldn't be with you otherwise, run off with the bag, and guess where they take it to? Right back to their own kind, baby. See, y'all the only ones that don't learn and won't learn. And I've learned a long time ago to stop feeling sorry for people who don't learn. Because it's those very same people who their choices ended up getting innocent bystanders who kind of look like myself, who actually did learn and did not partake and participate. Didn't have those other people as preferences. And back in the day, man, our houses and businesses was getting burned down. Ended up having to spend days hiding out in the swamp while everything that you worked for went up in a puff of smoke. So if you don't have the houses and the businesses anymore, at least for a period of time until you rebuild, you're not going to be building wealth anymore. Locked out of wealth again by destroying your assets and your businesses. Now guess what community was doing that to you? But I give you a hint. You love sleeping with their granddaughters. Listen, I gotta go. Y'all take care. Y'all be blessed. Because I just now realized how blessed I am. I actually do have the complexion for protection after all. See, by me being an unambiguous black woman that does not attract these types of black men because, they way too good for me. What that does is that also keeps me from having to go through that type of punishment and brutalization and embarrassment just to secure the bag. But once again, honey, for the preferences that do.
Sorrows, prayers.